If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. This is just another example of how the elites operate in plain sight. The New York Post has an article out today called "When People Clamored for the Ultimate Cure-All Human Flesh." So promoting cannibalism, like I've been talking about on this channel for quite some time, it is becoming more and more mainstream. That's why they have shows like the Santa Clarita Diet on Netflix. They're using humor to deflect attention off of the severity of this, because it is a real thing, and Kuru is a real disease. And the reason that they use humor is to indoctrinate people with it through humor, through comedy. That's what they do with all of this stuff. That's why they use humor and bring all this stuff up. And then when they bring things up like Pizzagate, they deflect attention off of stuff like that by using humor as well. This isn't a surprise. The elites are known to be cannibals. This goes back a long, long time. These Satanists have been doing this for a very long time. We even saw with Marina Abramovich how they're showing you this stuff in plain sight, how she's having art shows and art galleries where there's human beings' bodies. You know, they're having cakes made out to be humans' bodies, indoctrinating people to eat the cake. They have, people they hire actors to lay around naked like dead corpses. It's all sick, twisted stuff. But this, of course, all goes back to Aleister Crowley, as most of it does. It's the sacrament in the religion of Thelma, which was founded by Aleister Crowley. So let's take a look at this absolutely unbelievable article. I think back in the spring of last year, the New York Times had an article that I covered, and it was talking about how human sacrifice set up the foundations for our government. I mean, this stuff is unbelievable. It is so obvious, that these elites walk amongst us, that they get away with these things, that this is the core of all the stuff that they do. They're cannibals, they're pedophiles, they eat feces. I mean, the most disgusting, quote-unquote, tribal things you could imagine. This is what the problem is. People are calling this stuff tribal, and they go, oh, like the Aztecs? Oh, it's just tribal nature. It's human instinct. This is satanic instinct, okay? No normal human being is interested in eating the flesh of another human being. It says in Europe in the 17th century, epileptics drank human blood as a treatment. So popular was this practice, writes Bill Schutt in his new book, that public executions routinely found epileptics standing close by, cup in hand, ready to drink the blood that was coming out of the people who were being executed bodies. I talked about that. We saw on Snapchat how they're pushing cannibalism, talking about how, it's a normal thing. They're indoctrinating people over on that channel, the channel of Snapchat, which is just another media channel. That's what it is. It's not a television channel, but in media, it's just another outlet that they use. It says the topic of cannibalism is one of endless fascination. Just last month, the show Santa Clarita Diet, starring Drew Barrymore as a flesh-hungry American mom, premiered on Netflix. Meanwhile, cannibal cop Gilberto Vale returned to the news after admitting his upcoming memoir, Raw Deal, will reveal he still logs onto cannibal fantasy websites. I repeat, cannibal fantasy websites. Should this not be outlawed? Websites where these people go there and they talk about, they get off to this stuff, talking about role-playing with eating other people's flesh. These people need to be locked up. You got a serious mental problem if you're role-playing on a fantasy website talking about cannibalism. Oh, hey, let me tell you the story. I saw this woman at the grocery today. She looked delicious. No, I don't mean she was beautiful. I mean her flesh. I wanted to eat it. 911, we've got a problem here. Psychopaths on the loose. Websites that are promoting this kind of garbage. This is our society, folks. It's not hidden anymore. It goes on to say, but historically, Vale's obsession isn't as unusual as you think. As zoologist Schutt writes, the phenomenon occurs in every class of vertebrates from fish to mammals, as well as in many types of intervertebrates. And animals are just like us. Cannibalism has pervaded the human species for centuries, especially and surprisingly as a medicine, a cure, a medicine. I mean, are you kidding me? As a cure-all. This is how they're going to indoctrinate people with this stuff, folks. Hey, you want to get healthy? You're tired, you're depressed, you're not feeling so good, your bones and your muscles ache. Try eating a baby. Try eating a baby. Human flesh, it cures all. Oh, really? Is it going to help do wonders for my skin as well? Yeah, well, if you smear the blood on your face. I mean, this is madness. Absolute madness. You see how they use this stuff? They say, well, it's normal. Animals, are cannibals and they want to eat one another. So it's just natural for human beings to want to eat other human beings. I don't think so. Nothing natural about it. But this is what the indoctrination's about. This is what these sick Zionists, Kabbalists are all about. Eating one another's flesh. They sacrifice these babies in these rituals. They rape them, then they kill them, then they eat them. And it sounds insane, I know, but it's the truth of the matter. That's what these people believe in. That's what they do during their black masses and their satanic rituals that they perform. And now they're indoctrinating society, and this is how it's all going to come out. Just like I've talked about with pedophilia. Oh, they're going to say that kids who are 12 have, advanced brains now, and they're smarter than 30-year-olds. That's why on the TV you see kids giving adults lectures on these sitcoms. So that they can say, well, a 10-year-old, they're not really like 10-year-olds from the past. They're actually adults now, so you can have sex with a 10-year-old. And people are going to go, oh, doctors have said. And people are going to buy into this stuff. So they're going to come out and they're going to go, hey, we found the cure for cancer. You just got to eat somebody's baby. Really? I guess I'll try. This is sick. It says more than 2,000 years of Chinese historical accounts contain detailed descriptions of the preparation and use of body parts as curatives. Chinese medical treatments included the consumption of gallbladder, bones, hair, toes, and fingernails, heart, and liver. But the Chinese were hardly alone. From kings to commoners, Europeans routinely consumed human blood, bones, skin, guts, and body parts. They did it without guilt. Though it often entailed a healthy dose of gore, they did it for hundreds of years. See the stuff that's been hidden? This has been going on, and it continues to go on. It's just that this society we live in now, people are so dumbed down that they think what they see is what they get. Oh, this is what's going on because this is all I see around me, what's on the TV. And these people are hiding behind closed doors doing this. 1 million kids each year don't just go missing in America. They don't just wake up and go missing. Where are 1 million children hiding? Do they have an amusement park somewhere that they're hiding? That all the 1 million kids get together and go, hey, let's create our own fantasy land. We're going to get an island. We're all going to go live there. They're vanishing. There's a camera on your television, on your computer. Your phone's monitored 24/7. Your car's monitored 24/7. There's cameras on every street corner. Where are they going? These children are being sacrificed to these cannibalistic pedophiles that are Satanists at the core. It says medical cannibalism became so popular that public execution rose dramatically in the 17th century, with body parts often cut from prisoners while they were still breathing. Over the centuries and throughout society, sources of human food varied from criminals to prisoners of war to one's own living relatives. Around the 1500s, Chinese soldiers would seize women and children off the street in order to cook and eat them. Other societies merely helped themselves to parts of their unburied dead. I mean, do you hear this stuff? This is in the New York Post today talking about this. You see how they're subtly just getting this message out there, indoctrinating people with this? Well, this is what people are going to say. Well, I hear cannibalism's good. I hear it could cure Alzheimer's. Yeah, I hear it's a good thing. So what if some baby gets killed? Well, if the person's dying anyway, we should just eat them. I mean, it's insanity what people are going to buy into in the future. I can't even imagine. Hope I'm not here to see some of this stuff because it's really just sickening. One bizarre misguided offshoot of the use of human tissue as medicine was the turn toward pulverized mummies, which were either consumed or applied topically as an antidote to ailments including epilepsy, hemorrhaging, and upset stomachs in the 17th century. Oh, but mummy supply was limited, leading to a market for bootlegged mummies from Egypt that were often of such poor quality that they arrived with a rancid odor. Today, the consumption of human tissue still happens with the eating of placenta to ward off a new mother's postpartum depression and increase breast milk production. Obviously, we saw this in the mainstream with Kim Kardashian, who is just a satanic demon is what she is. We've seen her, putting the blood on her face, eating the placenta. This is all stuff they're indoctrinating people with. Why do you think there's so many vampire movies about drinking blood? You think that, by now people have seen enough of these awful vampire movies that one a year has to come out? Oh, vampire movie. I wonder what the plot is. Let me guess. A guy goes around sucking blood, and then eventually at the end he gets a stake put through his heart. But then at the end we see something where we know he comes back to life for the sequel. Oh, how interesting. Let me go watch it for the 5,000th time. It's an indoctrination. You can even read about stuff like this in the Talmud and the sick things that they did with little boys involving circumcision. It's just unbelievable stuff. This is coming out in the open. Why else would the New York Post be talking about stuff like this? Why is Santa Clarita Diet out? Why are these movies coming out? Why are they talking about fantasy websites where people could go on there and fantasize about eating other people? Think about how sick that is. People are on there talking about, oh, he'd be delicious to eat. I mean, we're not talking about Oreos here. We're not talking about Famous Amos cookies. We sure aren't talking about Kit Kat bars. Give me a break, really. Talking about fantasizing over eating other people. And like I said, this is what Crawley talks about and teaches. This is what Marina Abramovich and her spirit cooking is all about. These people drink blood. They eat flesh. And nobody wants to believe it. They don't understand what the zombie movies are all about. Why there's such a craze now for zombies. You don't think that's an indoctrination? How zombies eat flesh and eat humans? Eat brains? I mean, what do you think they're talking about? They're indoctrinating everyone. Zombie movies just didn't come back into the mainstream from, Night of the Living Dead from the 50s. And they just go, oh man, wouldn't it be cool, zombie? They push this stuff deliberately when they know that the people are ready to accept it. And they know how dumbed down society is, so they're going, okay, we're going to up the zombie stuff. We're going to have all the TV shows talk about how The Walking Dead is the greatest show ever, so more and more people watch it. That's why people are preparing for zombie apocalypses and all this nonsense. They don't realize that they're being indoctrinated. They want a society that lives like they do. And it's going to happen because people are going to be pushed into doing this through mind control. They're going to be taught, hey, human beings can eat other human beings. It actually heals your body. Oh, okay, well, that's interesting. And then we'll see cooking shows on TV. Chef Ramsay will be cooking human a la leg, right? Oh, I've got a leg here of a 30-year-old man. If you put a little paprika on it and season it well, it's delicious. And people go, well, maybe I'll try it. It's a delicacy, Oh, look at how much money it is for human hand on the menu tonight. Even though, let's be realistic, you get a lot of those body parts if you go to McDonald's, that's for sure. Okay, because you know what's in that meat. But this is talking about not them stashing this stuff in our food, because they do that. This is talking about how they want, how society, it's okay, how it was normal, and it was a cure-all for humans to eat other humans. And they're promoting it. They're not going, this is disgusting and barbaric. They're going, it's normal. It was normal for a long time. And it could be normal again. And doctors find, more cures through cannibalism for all these illnesses that they, wink, wink, can't cure. You don't hear them talking about Kuru disease. It's an absolute joke. This is going to continue to go on and get pushed in the mainstream. People are going to be on fantasy websites talking about eating other people. I never thought I'd see the day. I'm about to go put my head up against a tree and hope it freezes to it. Absolute insanity. This is the New York Post, folks. And again, like I said, the New York Times last year pushing human sacrifice and how it's actually, people should be thankful for human sacrifice and how it's set up our current government structure. Now we have the New York Post talking about how eating human flesh is normal, that all animals do it, so why shouldn't we? And it's actually a good cure for, all sorts of ailments. It can be used as medicine. It's absolute insanity. The Satanists are walking amongst us, and they're pushing this garbage and indoctrinating everyone with it. It makes me sick. It really does. I thank you for listening to today's show. I mean, it just gets more and more ridiculous by the day. God bless all of you and your families.